Because he's so
Yeah,
damn
because
smart.
you need an account that you know, that's what you need to do. That's then you can go online. That's look at this.
He's so damn
Yeah, look,
you need an
nice.
account
That you know. So now that's great. That's what you need to do. That's then you can go online. What you have to do now, Mark, is basically nice that we are now online. I delete it then. But what you have to do to turn off
I did. I turned it off.
Okay, let me see. I check it right now on the phone here. What I see. Usually it says
it says, oh yeah, it says YouTube. We're on. We're on.
Yeah, we are live. Look at this. I can now.
Okay.
I go to my phone. Look at this.
Okay.
You're not really recording. You are recording, but you're going to erase this?
No.
Yeah, of course I go to erase it.
Yeah.
No.
Good.
Yeah, we are live. Look at this. I can now. Yeah, everything is here. Mark, you are
Okay.
here.
So
Don't
now I'm
worry.
here. Okay, that was easy. That was easy to troubleshoot.
Okay. Now, Mark, you stop the live stream.
Why? Let's just leave it on.
Okay. Okay, that's fine with me too.
We're on. We have a new approach.
Okay. Yes.
And the new approach
is a very, very free approach.
It's a very free approach. It's not going to be formal or structured at all. It's just turning on a live cam. It's the Art Matters New York cam from now on.
Mark, you did great.
You see, when things are more improvised, it's much more interesting and more fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very nice.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But still watch a little bit what you are saying.
Yes. Well,
otherwise I have to edit everything out.
I think we should, no more editing.
No, we are free,
Yeah.
Okay, welcome everyone. Art Matters New York.
So Marcia
is back and Barbara is
Marcia, I have a question.
Yes,
Were you
sir.
in New York? Did you take those photos from the Jack Whitten?
I did.
I really want to see that show. Do you know how long it's up?
I don't, but
Okay, I'll find out.
Absolutely, you must see it. You must drop what you're doing and go see it. And you too, Hans.
Yes.
You too, Barbara.
Yeah. We will.
We're
going to see some. We're going
to see it.
Yeah, we're going to look at the.
Okay. Well, let me tell you something. First of all, I don't think my camera read the color correctly, and I didn't have time to edit.
Yeah.
And usually the editing doesn't really make it a whole lot better.
That's true.
With my camera anyway. But I didn't include, the show is humongous. I did not include everything.
Yeah.
Not by a long shot. And this guy is a genius. And when I first realized it was a Black artist, I said to myself, oh my God, here we go with the anti-white stuff. It was not that at all. It was not that at all. There was an absence of hostility and bitterness. He was just a marvelous, and was, because he's dead, marvelous guy.
Yeah, because the works probably are from the 60s through the time that he died, right? He died recently, fairly recently, like about a year ago, correct?
I'm not sure.
I think so. I think we're talking about Jack Whitten here. For all those for all of our followers, we're talking about the artist Jack Whitten, who now has a big retrospective at the Museum of Modern Art. So I'm guessing that he was, part of a generation, right, that came of age in the 60s, I'm guessing, and it's been around for a while, but sort of below the radar.
Very much below the radar. And it seems that he's a well-educated man, and he was a pilot. And he also was a wannabe jazz musician like his brother.
Who was his brother?
Something, Neil Whitten, also with the same last name. But his friends were Thelonious Monk,
So that tells you something.
Hannibal Adderley.
Well, that tells you how long ago it was.
Well, yeah, but those influences, and Betty, he did an homage to Betty Carter. That's just extraordinary.
Well, we're going to take a look at all of those pieces. In fact,
okay, great.
Just give me a moment. I'm going to have to just assemble those very quickly.
Excuse me for a moment.
We'll take a look. Okay.
Yeah. No, great.
Yeah. So let me go here.
So what I guess I'm saying is, if I can talk while you're doing that, don't walk, run to see that show before it closes.
I know.
It's like a wow. It's like a real wow.
I know it is.
Where is it?
MoMA.
MoMA.
Oh, it's at MoMA now. Oh, cool. Oh, okay, great. Maybe going to MoMA next week. I hope. Because there's, what is there? The notebooks of Hilma af Klint are there.
Oh.
The notebooks of her paintings.
Yes.
There's a lot there right now that is of interest. There's quite a few shows. The Frank Lloyd Wright show that I heard, was very, very interesting.
Which one, Mark?
Frank Lloyd Wright.
Frank Lloyd wrong?
Well, right. We know he was
right.
This I hope you brought her.
I didn't know that was there. Frankly, after the Whitten show, and I'm the one that goes through the museum floor by floor, I was fried.
Yeah, of course.
No, I usually go floor by floor, and I see it at least 3 floors when I'm there.
Yeah.
But I was just so fried.
Sure.
The Whitten is at MoMA, though, not the Whitney.
I think
I didn't say
Whitney. After the Whitten show. I thought you were saying Whitney show also.
No,
okay.
MoMA.
Oh.
Right.
Okay, now I don't know what order these things came up in, so we're just going to have to go with it. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, so
goes by file name.
Okay, can you see that?
Yeah, make that bigger, please.
Hopes and Ghosts.
Yeah, we see it. Great.
Because you may not want, just make it as big as you can.
That's it.
Jack Whitten. Yeah, that's good.
60s. Okay, there you go. In the 60s,
went to
Jack
Cooper
Whitten had an identity crisis, the son of a seamstress and a coal miner. Wow. He had been the first person in his family to attend college, studying pre-medicine at the Tuskegee. Yeah, Tuskegee. That's right. Institute in Alabama. But in 1959, he abruptly changed course, moving to Louisiana to pursue art. Wow. He also began participating in civil rights demonstrations. The violent backlash he experienced prompted him to leave the segregated South. Whitten earned a scholarship to the Cooper Union in New York in 1960. He plunged into a world of artists, writers, dancers, and jazz musicians, from de Kooning to Jacob Lawrence and John Coltrane, becoming fascinated by the gestural brushstrokes of abstract expressionism. He soon invented his own ways of making, producing ghostly figures that melt into abstract filmic shadows, vibrant gardens, spaces and flora dedicated to Martin Luther King Jr., and bursts of color that evoke war, hallucination, or science fiction. Whitten was haunted by his past, by histories of racial violence and the turmoil of the present, but he began creating forms for the future. Hey, wow. I can't wait to see more. Yeah, that's it.
Nice. Wow.
So unfortunately, we don't have the dates of these particular works. Marcia, can you tell us? Do you happen to remember?
No, I couldn't. Like I said, I didn't send them all to you because I figured it would be too much. But the ones that I photographed, let me go to my phone.
But
I may have the blurbs on my phone.
But this seems like with different materials, which make like liquid and maybe with solvent or.
Here's what I want to know is how big are these
interesting.
things? How big is this painting?
This one was probably 6 feet
Okay.
by 4 feet.
Okay.
The first one you saw, I think, was smaller. Some of these were humongous. Now look at this very closely. You can see faces in it.
Yeah.
And it was so vibrant. It was just extraordinary. The power of it.
Okay, but let's talk about, I mean, we can feel that, and we know if this was huge, and with all this activity and all this color and all this motion, we know that it's going to have a lot of presence and be very impactful. But what I want to talk about for a second is where this comes from. Okay, so they talk about the 60s, abstract expressionism, right? So
yeah.
gesture, energy, the line imbued with energy, with presence, and with action, right?
Yes.
But he's finding figurative elements in these, unlike the abstract expressionists, at least the classical abstract expressionists at the time, which were totally abstract.
That reminds me a little bit of the painter that you guys don't like, whom I saw at
Cecily Brown.
Cecily Brown. Yes.
Yeah, very much, very much, very much.
But she was later,
way later, way later.
When is this from? Roughly?
This is probably from, I'm guessing, the 60s or 70s.
Yeah, the 60s, definitely.
Yeah. The 60s.
This is definitely 30 years before Cecily Brown. I mean,
it's no more.
I mean, not to, listen, all this stuff is part of the language, and it goes around and comes back.
This is watercolor. This is a watercolor.
Yeah, it is watercolor.
Martin Luther King's Garden. The previous one was King's Garden. He did a lot of, he did a number of pieces dedicated to his meeting Martin Luther King.
Wow.
Yeah.
A field of suggesting faces among a field of brushstrokes.
It's amazing that he just, his trajectory is what's so interesting.
Oh my God.
He must have had a lot of charisma and been very smart, to find himself, in this group of great artists, and, the art and cultural life of New York City, bohemian.
Indeed.
Pretty interesting.
Indeed, if he had the company of those people. And this one is just so stunningly overpowering. I mean, it was like the first time almost like I saw de Kooning's Woman on a Bicycle. I just had to sit down.
I see a little Francis Bacon in here, and de Kooning, I guess, and to some extent.
No, I just mean the power of it, not necessarily.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice.
Listen, the guy had a lot of energy. You can see that. This was a liberation.
Not only a lot of energy, but he must have also been, as you will see, physically very strong.
Yeah.
Because he invented tools and methods that just defies the imagination.
I see here also the Courbet, the fish of Courbet.
What is that?
A fish of the Courbet.
Oh, a fish, yes.
The fish, almost, I see.
Oh, yeah.
Of Courbet.
It's iconic. It's very good.
But what's the second word you said? The fish of?
Courbet.
Of Courbet?
Yeah. Is it not from Courbet?
Goya.
Oh.
The fish.
I don't know.
Maybe I find it somewhere.
I'm not sure, Hans. Yeah, I was just.
But
it's just so powerful.
I'm gonna find it for you.
It is. I mean, the marks.
It's very powerful.
Very powerful. very big.
Yeah.
I say maybe, memory doesn't serve me, even though it was yesterday, because some of them were ultra large and some of them were just large.
I like the black at the top. That's pretty bold. It just
yes.
paint in that dark.
I share the screen for a moment.
Okay.
You can stop streaming.
Oh, let me.
Yeah, we have to allow it.
Okay, you're allowed.
Okay. It is here.
Look.
Oh, yeah.
Is that Courbet?
Yeah, that's Courbet.
I have never
famous
seen that.
Great. What a great painting.
And
Beautiful.
it reminds me very much of the painting he made. This whole form and all the pain and everything.
Right.
Very interesting. You can.
That's a beautiful painting.
Yeah, Courbet, very famous painting.
Oh.
That reminds me when you go back, Mark, to the.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more abstract, but this whole form, the whole canvas, it's all power. Hey, Phyllis, great.
Hi, Phyllis.
Hi, there you go.
Yeah, you see, the fish in a way, right? The head is on the top,
Phyllis, this is the work of Jack Whitten. Marcia was at the Museum of Modern Art and took these photos. And it's an exhibition that I've been wanting to see. Have not been in the city recently, but
do not miss it. Do not miss it.
I know.
It looks wonderful. Yeah.
It's great.
Though that painting.
Oh, this is one of my favorites. This is called Dead Reckoning. And for pilots and for sailors, Dead Reckoning is a way to fix your position on the water or in the air when there are no landmarks.
Amazing.
And it's very, very difficult to do it accurately. The most accurate thing you could be within a half a mile of it, but never more accurately. The stars, the sun, the temperature, the current, everything has a play in it. And it's done with complicated tools. I mean, to people who really know, it's not that complicated. But I took this class twice. I passed it both times, but ask me if I learned it thoroughly, I tell you no.
This is so Lydia Rubio for me.
In a way, sort of, except for the black.
Right.
She doesn't use black.
That's true.
she's too Latin,
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Uh,
Black is really exactly.
And also,
black is so European,
Yeah.
But you also can see the vibrancy of the spots of color within the black.
Right.
It was much more vibrant than my camera allowed.
It looks like he sanded or scraped the black surface.
He did. Layers upon layers of acrylic that have dried, scraped through, repainted, revisited, re-scraped, resanded. The man was like
who's a wonderful painter that we should also take a look at is another black artist, but from LA, and that is Mark Bradford.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Who does huge paintings that are highly, rendered and sanded and all kinds of, corrosive, crazy materials and collage, and then sands the whole thing off and gets these like remarkable surfaces that are enormous. And he's just incredibly ambitious and also comes from very, very humble background beginnings.
Is he alive?
He's alive and he's very, very successful. And he's really amazing.
Do we have any photographs? Do you guys have any photographs of
Well,
this?
Hans,
yeah. We have.
He's all over the internet.
He's at Hauser and Weird Gallery, and I can show you some.
Yeah, let's just look at a few of his.
Bradford.
Because there is a
Hold on.
There's a connection between both.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me see. I share the screen again.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is a connection. Absolutely. Hold
Even
on.
though they're on opposite sides of the country.
Well, Mark Bradford is young also.
Yeah, there is
He
a
just emerged probably, I think, in the maybe 90s or
Do-
early
Do you
aughts.
see my stuff?
Yes.
Yep.
Let's see what we.
Wow.
Oh, look at that.
Well,
Goodness gracious.
That's interesting. Whoa.
Yeah, it's a
you
very.
have to, if we can hone in on one of those.
Yeah, let's see.
Oh, there's a
It's
tremendous
the surface.
similarity.
So look, you just
Yeah.
said 4.3 million at Sotheby's.
Wow.
Right.
There's a tremendous similarity.
Yeah.
And to the oeuvre, one of the oeuvres of Whitten. There's a
This
whole room
reminds-
dedicated
Yeah, we're
to
gonna
these.
get into those. We'll look
Yeah.
at those.
Okay.
This reminds me of an asbestos tile that's deteriorating.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are.
There's
it's a certain way to do things to
yes, it's a
produce those
process.
things.
But that's him. Go back.
Yeah, this looks very
So that's
good.
him. So you see,
Yeah.
he's quite young,
Okay.
relatively speaking. I'd say he's about maybe 50 years old now.
Right.
I don't really know, but I'm guessing.
Oh, about Rolex. No.
Yeah.
Written from two.
I'll take one.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Are you
I know,
treating?
it's terrible.
Hans, if you're treating, I'll take a Rolex.
Yeah.
I'll take a painting.
Take this one also.
Yeah, let's see that.
Wow.
look
Oh
at
my
that.
God.
Do we see that one again?
Yeah. It's coming.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
My goodness.
That
You
is
know, he
interesting,
has
isn't
a
it?
way.
Oof.
These are huge paintings. I mean,
Right.
I'm guessing like it's 16 feet or 15 feet wide and maybe 8 feet high. But
Is
they're
there-
very big. He has a great way of developing these surfaces and creating images. This one really reminds me of Kiefer, of Anselm Kiefer.
Yeah.
Who also works similarly.
Yes. I
Right?
mean, this, what I see, he applies color and then maybe some turpentine or solvent. And then, it's the whole erosion process.
Yes.
And, it's like having a wall, which everything peels off or whatever.
You know what?
yes.
He has a huge studio.
Yeah.
He does all this stuff, and then he takes a fire hose, a
Yeah, you see.
and he just like
Right,
Yeah.
And the color comes off again.
yeah.
Let me see.
He sands it. He
What do you
sands
mean
through
by
layers.
erosion?
Is it oil?
That's
Yeah.
probably
I
everything.
saw that show that was
What a Hauser work?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
What do you mean
Great.
by erosion? I missed that.
That's
Was
true.
it also always in oils? Because
I don't know. It's probably everything.
Yeah. Right.
He uses glues, because he's
Yeah.
laying paper upon paper upon paper,
Yeah.
and then he sands it all off.
Yeah.
it's funny you should say that, because it seems that in the Whitten show too, there's all kinds of things that were put on and taken off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's the way, people painted at that time, certain people.
It's a process oriented
Right,
work
exactly.
where the the surface, the image emerges from the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
Well,
Even-
when I'm sorry. Go ahead.
even
even-
I did some paintings.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, smaller ones. But look, here you could say, look at this is the influence of Whitten, you see. Sort
Wow.
of. Yeah, sort of.
Shall we go back to Whitten?
Yeah, no, hold on.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
We go.
I wanted to just say that the vanishing point, those those reminded me of and some Kiefer,
Yes.
Yeah.
that extreme vanishing point.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah.
Goodness
So
gracious.
these he's sort of well known for. This is what he sort of came with, emerged with, are maps,
Yeah.
like
It's like
maps
a
of
tapestry.
LA, maps
Oh,
of
yeah.
central LA.
I think I saw those. Were those
Yeah.
earlier?
I think they were, amongst his first works.
Yeah, I think I saw some of those. Yeah.
That's beautiful. That pink is gorgeous.
Yeah, isn't it?
So you see
Yeah.
mixed media. So uses many
Mm.
different materials, which that.
Right.
It looks like it came up with the Titanic,
Yeah.
It looks like a Persian miniature in a way.
He made also movies, apparently. Yeah. Look at
My
it.
God.
So look at the size
Oh
of that.
my goodness.
Oh my God. Look at the,
Whoa.
Yeah, he's a star.
He's a star. He's
Wow,
one of
wait.
these painters that just, I don't know
Huh.
where he came from or how he got it together to do this, but he did it. You
it
know?
looks like it's a triptych put together.
Could be. Yeah, I'm sure it's some pieces.
Or he's got a studio big enough to put a plain piece of canvas up on a wall.
Mhm.
I saw an interview with him. If you go to YouTube,
Yeah.
you can find interviews with him, and he's very, very likable. And
Mhm.
yeah, very.
Oh, there's Louise
Yeah,
Bush.
I don't want to see that.
You know, there's a show I saw of Sigmar Polke when I was away.
Yeah.
Oh, he
The
did.
show I saw with Jack Whitten, I don't know how old he was when he died, but Sigmar Polke was experimenting with all these solvents and all
Right.
kinds of weird powders and chemistries.
Right.
And I have a feeling he died at the age of 67, probably by inhaling that stuff.
Well,
Yeah, of course.
There's a risk, sure. Yeah.
An interesting interview with him. Major
Yeah.
recognition. Buchsbaum Award.
Mm.
He received the Buchsbaum Award.
Yeah.
I sold one time a painting to Buchsbaum
Yeah.
on an auction. She
Yours?
was famous. Yeah, yes.
Wow.
Oh,
They bought a little painting of mine, the Buchsbaum.
Oh
how
my
cool.
But I
God.
didn't get an award. I didn't get an award for
But
it.
you're
got a
famous.
monetary award.
Great.
You have
No,
hours.
but it was for an auction. It was not for me.
Oh.
I gave that a painting for the Bomb magazine.
Oh,
It was a fundraiser for Bomb magazine. And
Right.
the Buchsbaums bought the painting of mine.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Wow. This is very impressive.
But then I never heard again from them. I think she died and her husband
See,
is,
there's another map.
yeah.
yeah.
I have to say, his last show that I saw,
Yes.
his most recent show at Hauser and Wirth, was very disappointing.
Really.
It's like he's like going into another direction, which, okay, I get it.
But
it
he's
was
not
more-
there
It
yet.
was more kind of, how can I describe it? Maybe you can find his last show at Hauser and Wirth. It
Maybe he was
it was more-
searching for a new direction.
He is. He's looking to get out of this more abstraction and going into something a little more, current, let's say. I can feel it that he's trying to, but it's still, huge, like a huge project,
Right.
and which is problematic
Yeah.
because,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah.
But-
When you're searching, it seems like huge.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because he had
Can we see the circles, Mark?
yeah, because he had the what's the word? He had the
The circles.
no.
Where are they?
There's this, on the left-hand side, there were concentric circles on the big,
So in other words, he had the resources.
I don't think he
Had the-
hears you,
He
Phyllis.
had the resources to do something different and big.
Yeah.
make it big and important, so
Mhm.
fit into these galleries. But it was a new
Oh,
idea that I felt was not
that one?
really, was not
No,
successful, was
No.
not happening. That's beautiful.
Yeah,
His abstract works are great.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can find the last show at Hauser and Wirth.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's hard.
Go to the Hauser and Wirth website, and
that's gorgeous.
that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
Nice looking guy.
He's gay.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, he'd still be nice looking, but
Uh-oh. Yeah, yeah. Hausen. Yeah, once you see then also many things,
Go to artists.
you see, of course, also that he has his method, and all these things are always beautiful. They are not really scary. The Whitten is more scary. His stuff
Yeah.
is more
Yeah.
scary,
That last
And-
painting you showed us was a scary one.
And
Go to artists on the top. Artists, and then yeah,
to be.
Bradford. Yeah.
Max Bill, they have everything. Did you
Yeah.
read the article about Hauser and Wirth yesterday or
No.
There was an important article about Hauser and Wirth in the New York Times.
Really?
Oh, really?
Really?
How influential they are, and
Oh.
they take then these artists, and then they influence the museums and so on.
Oh
Okay,
boy.
go to exhibitions. Go back. Exhibitions. Yeah. And
This one, that's the last one.
That's
okay,
the last
let's
one.
look.
24
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's look at
in
that.
Hong Kong.
Oh, no, that's not it. It was in New York, the one I saw. Go to the one in New York.
Oh.
But this must be the newest work, probably.
Well,
No, okay.
yeah, I'm try the New York. See if
Mhm.
you lost it.
Yeah. I know also her. Where is he?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, exhibitions.
Oh, exhibitions are here.
So let's go. Well, you want
Mhm.
you're back.
Oh, yeah. Let me see.
Oh, I see. So this is yeah.
Yeah.
So-
It's yeah.
I think I have to go
Yeah.
exhibitions
No,
here.
there, that one.
Here
That's
it's.
it. That's
There
it.
you go.
So which show did you see?
It was in New York.
They're not showing.
No, you don't have past exhibitions. No.
Mhm.
Oh well.
Okay, whatever. Too
Hmm.
bad.
So here,
Okay,
oh,
try that.
but that's in
That
Monaco.
says Monaco. No.
Ah,
Well,
Yeah.
see, so he's
Museums exhibition.
museum exhibition.
Viewing room. Let's see the viewing room. Maybe you see something you saw. Quarantine paintings. That's COVID.
yeah, no.
Oh.
Everybody made COVID paintings.
Did you, Hans?
Yeah, yeah.
Did? You did? Were they very different from what you usually do?
Yeah, not really, but a little bit. Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
But I didn't call them COVID paintings.
Sure.
let's go back to Whitten. Okay? Hans, let's go back to Jack.
Whitten. Yeah, okay. Let's stop the whole thing.
Yeah, that's it.
But it was interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun.
But you see also, it's very hard, once you have like a formula, then it's sometimes you can just go on, and I think you see then he had the power and a lot of work, of course, but he was filling now all these corporate art collections on the whole world,
Oh boy.
Once you are in the big gallery, you have to do that. You are not You know what I'm saying? That there's a lot of money going on.
That's
Yeah.
right.
If you pay 100,000 or 200,000 costs a huge painting, you know what I'm saying? That's you're becoming like an industrial distributor, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then maybe, you know, you can get into a crisis as an artist because you think, oh, I'm repeating myself, you know, of course, each painting looks different, but everything looks just great all the time. And maybe you need maybe push yourself to something which is more challenging again for yourself, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, you know, in Bradford's case, it could be that he suddenly goes through a crisis, says, I don't want to use that much color anymore, and I don't want to do the erasing stuff, or, you know, or like erosion type of method. And then you get into a crisis because it changes your whole thing, you know.
Yes. Yes.
And once we are free because we are not so famous. So you can do and change whatever you want, but it's the same pain you feel, you know.
Yes, it is.
You know, it's the same pain. Everybody has the same pains.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can we see
That was my small monologue today.
No, but you're absolutely right. Right on target, Hans. Right on.
To give a little structure to our free freedom on
Free for all, yeah.
So this is so
and again, you can't see the vibrancy or this isn't vibrant necessarily, but
nice.
The shadows that appear to you are like, how the hell did he do that?
Well, you know, I wouldn't necessarily ask that question because I can see that these works are the result of multiple processes where you're just building the surface and things start to happen.
Yeah.
Right. And so there's what is it called? Pentimenti or ghost images. There's things coming through, you know, you're scraping away, you're layering. So, you know, and then, you know, and there's a certain kind of structure to it because all of the lines he's raking across are horizontal. And then he has this vertical thing in the middle.
Yeah.
So it has a certain, you know, and then with all of this randomness of just random, you know, painterly process events. And so it all, you know, and then he decides, it's like, you know, and then he decides, well, you know, looks good. It's finished, you know. It's an abstract.
It's a juxtaposition of two things, you know. Yeah, in a
it's
way.
Randomness and structure. There's two things going on.
Rasteration, raster, or how do you say? Raster. How do you say?
What do you want to say?
A raster. What is a raster? Ein raster. Let me see what. You know, like it's like pixelation almost of something.
A raster?
Oh.
Ein raster. Let me see what the
like
word.
Erasures? No.
So, you know, when a painting like this.
No.
It's yin and yang. I still wonder, I just stand there with my mouth open. How the hell did he do this?
It's overwhelming, you know.
It's overwhelming because as a painter, you see, it's got to have multiple attempts to get to where it just says, whoops, it's done.
Right.
It's a grid. It's called a grid.
A grid.
A grid, you know.
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain kind of grid.
A gridification of.
You know, Agnes Martin, you know, she did the line, just lines, right? So, you know, so certain things work on a rectangular canvas, you know? And so, you know, you can get into the beautiful, incredible, deep surface, you know, I mean, it's seductive.
It's very seductive.
And it evocates drawings of Leonardo, sort of.
Yes.
Yeah.
you know, like these
Right.
faint
Yes.
drawings, and you know, it's like it's
I
interesting.
mean, it's beautiful. You know, there's like a certain Johns thing happening as well. You know, his white on white flags, which were very similar, but you know, he used the emblematic, iconic flag as a place to begin, as a structural, template. So yeah,
Let's go. There are a lot of paintings that went
well,
up.
we're good. We're good.
No, not a lot. Make that as big as you can, please.
This looks like the Ben-Day dots of Liechtenstein.
That's as big as I can.
Okay. This is probably about 14 feet.
Well, I can't get to 14 feet here. Sorry.
No.
I don't want to like destroy your iPad.
Doesn't when you see this close up, is it the Ben-Day dots?
No, it's not.
No.
It's what he did is he forced color through different objects.
I like this, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, and then he added textures.
Yeah, I like
on top of that, and here and there. And it looks as though it's just black and white, but it's not.
Right.
It's got blues in it, probably has some pinks in it.
Yellow.
When you look at it at first, it's a black and white thing. But the more you look at it, the more you see other colors.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's huge. Oh, it's just huge.
It also looks like frottage, right? The Ernstian word for rubbing.
Yeah.
A rubbing of something.
In a way, yes.
Over a screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's lots of ways. There's lots of ways to produce and layer, images. My problem with all of this work, it's not a problem, but is that it's flat. Even though it has a lot of, dimensionality, right? You can get into it's basically dealing with a flat surface of the canvas, right? In other words,
no.
Yes.
No.
Yes, you're layering stuff on a flat surface, and it's always flat. So it's either topographical.
These are not flat.
I don't mean. I'm not saying that there isn't the illusion of depth of space. There is. There's an atmosphere, but the orientation is always looking down from a high point of view, like a map, or topographical. In other words, or looking at a street or a wall. Those are all flat things. It's not looking into space and painting a landscape, right? We know that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Okay. Yeah.
So all of this kind of work, sort of comes out of flatness, which, which was, the abstract expressionism, right? Everything is flat.
Everything is up on the surface.
Everything is on the surface, right? It hits the surface.
But it's remarkably well organized.
Yes, it is.
Very well organized.
Tremendously.
Yeah. But that's for sure. But I'm just talking about the orientation of abstraction.
I know what you're talking about. It's as if you're looking at it from an airplane.
About that.
Yes. So if you look at stuff from an airplane, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's a bird's eye view.
Everything is flat. You're not seeing things in space per se. Everything is flattened, right, by the distance. It becomes like a map.
Yeah.
Well, like I say, don't walk, run. You must see this show.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
You really have to.
This is his other thing with the tiling or the mosaic.
Well, the tiling was something he invented. He called it skins. And what he did was poured paint on the floor or the prepared surface or a table, thin layers of paint. And then when they dried, it was acrylic. When they dried, he broke it up into tiles.
Right.
Oh.
Oh my God, what a laborious process.
Yes, I understand. Yep.
But look at the subtlety of color with the blue on the lower right-hand
Beautiful.
side.
Yeah, the lower right is gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
I think that this is the one that's homage to Betty Carter,
Uh-huh.
the jazz
So
suit.
this, you can really see the influence on Bradford in something like that.
Please leave a message after the tone.
I can't turn that off. I'm sorry about that.
The
So
blue
it's-
is beautiful.
It's
The color.
large and very large.
And I like the lines that are going through
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
They're beautiful.
Mark, would you also say this is flat because it looks like a map? Like
I'd say yes, I would.
it's like a Manhattan, island of Manhattan, or what?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
I would say the approach of this kind of abstraction is basically on a flat plane. It's like a mosaic on a
Yeah.
floor, or it's like something on a wall. Basically flat. Yes.
But it looks like it's like an aerial view.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way you get the flatness.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's fine. We've absolutely explored everything you can do with flatness. You know what I mean? In the last century.
But in a way, it's I can imagine that when you see the original, it is of course also sculptural because all these tiles have.
Yeah.
He deals with flatness and non-flatness.
Well, yeah, but there's lots of strategies to make it interesting. All I'm saying is that this is not rendering things in space. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
This is from 1998. Noted in the studio log that he had devoted 1,300 hours of labor toward the making of Flying High for Betty Carter. He was inspired to create the work after seeing the jazz singer perform at Slug Saloon in New York and East Village in the 1960s. I had to do a big painting for Betty Carter. It had to be brassy, celebratory, and over the top. The range of her voice could penetrate the highest emotional pitch imaginable. Flying High is a B-52 Strato 4 bomber pitched by General Betty Carter.
Nice.
Piloted by General Betty Carter. So he obviously was looking at like from an aerial perspective, right?
Yeah.
And flying high. Maybe he was high.
I
The
hope so.
tininess of the lines
I
is
hope he was.
teeny tiny.
It's
What,
wonderful.
Phyllis?
But the
Martha,
skin, think of the hours of doing this. Just to,
Wait,
Phyllis, what are you saying?
Phyllis was saying something.
yes, Marcia, when you looked at it closely, how did you read those tiny little lines in the background? Did they come out as they do in the reproduction? Very teeny tiny.
I don't know, I don't, you mean that white on white line? The ones that are not.
They're really,
almost like a street grid. If
yes,
you
they
will.
are, exactly.
So it could be a reference to a place, and he went to, I think he must have had a white wife who was Greek. He spent his summers on Crete and bought a house there and did a lot of painting there. So it could be just an island kind of thing, but then he referenced Betty Carter. So of course it's very probably extraordinarily complex in his head, but I can't believe it was only 1,300 hours. Because you got to make the skin, you got to dry it and crack it or cut it and then assemble it.
He probably used like a big paper cutter with a big blade and just
Probably, yeah.
cut these squares at random. Boom, 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 boom.
Or
Either that or he had assistants.
Yeah. It must have been he had an atelier. Perhaps this is when he became somewhat more successful and he could afford help, because I just can't believe this is 1,300 hours.
You know what's interesting? I mean, I don't know about you, Hans, but I don't recall ever seeing an exhibition of his work
Acrylic.
over the years.
Yeah, no.
Was he just completely under the radar, or maybe had occasional shows? I don't know. Why wasn't I more aware of him in New York?
I had not heard his name. I thought I read something about it in the Times recently, and I was with a friend. She said, "No, I never heard of him. I don't want to go there." I said, "Fine, I'll meet you." Blah blah blah. And she decided to come up, and we were both absolutely floored.
Yeah.
We were floored.
I mean, they're incredible. I love this one.
I do
Oh,
too.
look at this.
This is fantastic.
But now it's again the point about flatness or not flatness.
Yeah.
Because now it seems like a figure standing.
Yes, and the
It is a
figure is
figure.
even
Oh,
stepping
yeah.
out in front.
It
The
is
figure is actually
definitely a
in
figure.
front of. So yeah, this has more figuration in a way, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I didn't
And
do the
more-
blurb on this one.
Yeah,
This
so
looks like the same technique though with the,
Yep.
it is.
mosaic pieces.
This is
Let's go where the computer cannot go. Around 1990, Whitten suddenly invented yet another form of art. He created sheets of dried acrylic paint, spread flat and tracer on tables, and used a razor blade to carve, slice, or shatter
right.
to harden acrylic into small tiles.
Oh,
Each
boy.
tile could be combined with
Oh.
others to form sprawling, intricately constructed abstract paintings. These puzzles of visual information suggest both ancient Byzantine mosaics and digital images.
Mm.
How about that?
Yeah, pixel.
When I break it down to little bits that I work with, it's like a pixel.
Yeah.
But you could say the same thing about the pointillists, about Seurat.
Exactly.
They're pixels. Come on.
Yeah. Well, now we can call them pixels.
That's what I'm saying. It's all, in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Next.
I like this painting a lot, though.
I do too.
This I can.
Mm.
And you notice it's uneven.
Yeah.
And it seems like it was done in panels. I'm not sure if it was or it wasn't done in
You know what it
panels.
reminds me of too? Like, in the Matisse Museum in Vence, in Saint Paul de Vence or wherever in the south of France.
Yeah.
They have the robes
The
of
robes,
the ecclesiastical robes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sort of shaped like this.
Yeah.
Oh.
But this is really kind of interesting and dark. I love it.
Marcia,
Oh, I'm sorry.
is there a lot of color in this, or is it primarily black and white as it reads on the computer? Marcia?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Is there a lot of color in this, or is it primarily black and white as it is on the computer?
It's shades of black and white. No, it wasn't done on the computer.
No,
It's
I'm
called
saying
Shades
the
of
way I'm
Grey.
reading it on the computer.
I don't understand the question.
Is there color in this, or is it predominantly shades of gray, black and white?
It says black and white when you apprehend it initially, but there's some color in there as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
there is. Okay.
You know
I
what?
see. I see a little green in there, actually.
Yeah, there is some color, but when you first look at it, it's black and white.
Look, right there.
Okay, yeah.
There's some, green, yellow.
Yeah, it's ameliorated here and there, but the edges are like fuzzy.
But
So
You know what? It looks like a crucifixion to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's
exactly
it.
right. Exactly right.
The vestments and
Crucifix.
fonts.
It's cruciform.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Cruciform.
Yep.
It's really
And
nice.
excuse me, I didn't read the whole thing to you, nor what I think of, but I think this was an homage to his father, who was a coal miner.
Oh, wow.
He saw this as memorials, as a means of confronting memory, but also posing a renewed identity, a new way of being in the world that continually seems to be on the verge of breaking down.
See that.
Yeah.
I like it.
This is just a small color detail of a monumental piece. It must be 20 feet long.
It's so Bradford.
Yes, amazing, right? Like crazy.
Well, you see, this
mean-
is a small detail, and then the next one I hope you'll see is the whole painting,
Yeah, okay.
which is made of mosaic.
Wow.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
that.
Bradford is, you know, definitely paying an homage to
Whitten.
Whitten, without a doubt.
Right.
It's just, oh, you are awestruck when you see
This
this.
is very Kiefer too, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
I was just thinking that. Yeah.
The approach is very, very similar. Constructing a painting
Yeah.
and a surface, very similar, you know, conceptually.
And monumentally. It is
All in tiles,
quality.
Yeah.
all in tiles.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And this is not all up on the surface either. This has space.
This is all.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
Like Kiefer does.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
that's
an
it.
interesting looking thing. Wow. It's really
It's just, when you see this, it holds you. And you may, oh my God.
It looks like a
I kept saying, oh my
Magic.
God.
It's the opposite of minimalism. It's called maximalism. You know, it's just like throw everything at that you can at the surface.
Yep.
But it comes out very simply,
Yeah.
very symbolic of
Very,
something.
very
Yeah.
well done. I wonder how long this show is going to be up.
Oh.
So are these his too?
Now, he did a group of fetishes. I call them fetishes. They remind me of African fetishes.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're just extraordinarily wonderful.
My gosh.
So what is this? What is the metal? Is it like bronze or copper or what?
The metal rods are just iron. The things you see, they're nails.
Yeah, they're nails, but what's the armature that's holding the nails?
Wood.
Oh, that's wood.
Wood.
Ah, okay.
Really?
Yes, it's wood.
Just painted brown or something.
No, it's like a mahogany wood or an ebony wood.
Oh, really?
That's been, some of it has been gouged so you can see different colors in it. The camera doesn't always read all the details.
Wow.
Sure. Yeah.
They're just extraordinary. They really are.
Yeah.
And I didn't take, well, there's a whole bunch of other stuff.
Are these called the black monoliths?
No,
Oh.
the black one,
What are the black monoliths?
you'll see.
Oh, there.
The black monoliths, I think, were, hold on a second. The black monoliths were made in 1988, celebrating influential Black figures throughout history. It talks about W.E.B. Du Bois, Maya Angelou, Ornette Coleman, Muhammad Ali. Rather than depicting a facial likeness, the monoliths are abstract. The paint is used with materials and coal dust, pearlescent powder, and octopus ink.
Oh, wow.
My.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
I'm not reading the whole thing to you, of course. It glittering gems, waves of constellation of stars, waves of sound, or masses of earth. I mean, it's just boggles the mind. This was a Muhammad Ali thing.
Wow.
Why is it Muhammad Ali?
I have no idea.
That was the title.
That was the title.
What is this? Oh, okay.
Also tiles.
Yeah.
I think I just erased the Muhammad Ali one. Let me see.
Oh,
Oh, there it is. No, that's not it.
No, that's not it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I think I eliminated it somehow.
That's okay.
Okay.
There's plenty more.
Okay.
look at that. Oh,
This I like. I mean,
Oh, it's wonderful.
the red is great.
Yeah, it has a Dubuffet quality.
Yeah,
oh,
for
it
sure.
does.
For sure.
I don't know which one that was.
These are just super labor intensive.
Oh,
Getting squares
totally.
in, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Mark, do you know when acrylic was invented?
A long time ago. Definitely in the early 60s.
Yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah.
see.
If not earlier, it was called
You
Rotlex.
see. Yeah.
I think
It was called what?
I think Rotlex or Liquitex. There was.
Liquitex was the first brand that did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, because you know what you could do is in a way, you know, when you had it on a palette and it dries, it peels off, you know.
Yes,
Yes.
Easily.
that's right.
And
That's
so
right.
many artists did things with
I did that. I
you
did
know,
that. I discovered that and I played with
right.
it.
Everybody discovered it because that's
Yeah.
the way it's like, you know, it's the same
right.
thing. They make an omelette in a pan, you know, it gets
Exactly.
then it peels off the pan and you eat it, you know. I mean, you know.
Shouldn't eat the Liquitex.
And especially when you had these pans, you know, the non-sticky frying pans, you know.
The
The
bad
other ones you had to be more careful how you do an omelette, you know. You have to.
So believe it or not, acrylic paint was first developed in the 30s.
Okay.
Really?
It was called acrylic resin.
Oh,
It was
okay.
German. It was a
Resin.
German. It was a German invention. And in the 50s, artists started using it. In the 60s, it became popular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So it's been around.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are artists which make even bigger, you know, pieces, and they are basically just like a towel or whatever, you know, which is acrylic free, not on a canvas, but just as an object or whatever, hanging in the space or
really?
whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. There are many
Yeah.
artists doing. I mean, today or years ago. Before.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's interesting.
What's the next one, Mark?
Marcia is accomplished. Oh, nice.
This is just a remarkable thing, and I couldn't get the whole thing. I had to cut off a piece of the top and the bottom.
Is that a turntable on there or just?
Yeah, it's just a CD and the guts of some kind of a electronic object. These are fetishes, because what happened was too, and there were little compartments in the old African fetishes where they had all kinds of magical realism going on.
Yes.
It's just so interesting. It's just so complicated, complex.
Yeah.
Is this one of the black icons?
They're all of them are. They all of these objects. They're just a take on fetishes.
Right. But I mean, is it named after someone, this particular one?
No.
Okay.
No.
But you see you hear the music, yeah.
They had jazz playing throughout the exhibit.
Uh-huh.
And what are these two pieces in the back there?
Those are also his.
It's amazing, yeah.
I mean, I just put, you know, I thought I sent you everything I could without, I think I'm monopolizing the entire program.
One looks almost like a navigation. Look at the desktop of the navigation bar of a program, you know, which you can.
Right.
It's very interesting, you know.
When you see the other one that Mark showed, this one is called.
Looks like a desktop with icons.
That's your desktop, Mark. I saw that.
It's a desktop.
It's called Icons for Obama.
Oh, wow. Huh,
Icons for who?
Obama.
Mhm.
but wait a second, this is Jack Whitten.
Yes.
So when did he die?
He died, I think, about a year or two ago.
Oh, I see.
Ja, Hausrentweert has the estate.
Sorry?
Wow.
Hausrentweert has the estate of him. You know?
Ah, so he kept working right through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm going to
Hmm.
find out right now. He died. Oh my gosh, I am wrong. He died in 2018.
Ah.
So it was more than a few years ago. It was 6 years ago.
Mhm.
Almost 7.
Well, that's recent.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's recent.
Very
But,
recent.
you know, who knows? I mean, right?
Mhm.
7 years for me feels like 2 years now. It's just,
Mhm.
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It goes by so fast.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep. Yep.
There's no landmarks anymore. Everything's just going by.
That's right. It's gone.
Do you have the rest of the
Whoosh.
icons, rather not the icons, the fetishes? I sent that as a separate.
I have everything here. There's one.
Oh,
Oh.
gosh.
I have everything right here.
Oh,
Isn't that something?
Yeah, that's kind
Mhm.
of great.
duh. Wow.
I mean, this guy was like super inventive. And I can't believe I didn't bring in, I didn't photograph the grid paintings that he did with the rake.
Oh,
Mm.
He had a 12-foot tool, like a
Mhm.
garden, like a flat garden rake, not the one that's shaped like a fan, but
Yeah.
the one that has a long bar and all kinds of little needles under it.
Mhm. Mhm.
I guess a HOE or some kind of a rake that he created and he built. It
yeah.
weighed 40 pounds and it was 12 feet long.
Mm.
Oh.
Wow.
And when he did his grids,
Oh,
he must have had such a sure hand because those lines are so damn straight.
Mhm.
oh.
I mean, he may have stretched it out on the floor. I don't know how he did it, but
Right.
Mhm.
it's just remarkable. And he created all these tools, like something like African combs,
Mhm. Mhm.
Mm.
kind of tools to scrape away, to work with.
And this is a figure for sure.
This is for sure a figure, yes.
Mm.
But this is just a
Yeah, it's surrealistic.
remarkable fetish.
Surrealistic almost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Nice. Yeah. Wow. Mhm.
Look at
Yeah,
that.
the wood elements are beautiful.
They're
Just
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh my gosh.
I'm telling you,
Oh,
don't walk, run. Don't miss this show.
okay.
Even if you're holding a pair of scissors.
Even though that are, even if you're mobility challenged, get there.
Mm. Oh.
This looks very Ernstian. It's very surreal again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hans mentioned.
Yes.
It looks like, yeah, you know, from that era, 30s.
Mm. Mm.
You know, a surreal object with all
Yeah.
kind of expected juxtapositions of things.
Yes. And on a wall
Arms.
instead of on a table.
Mm.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good piece.
Oh, it's great.
I mean, he definitely knew how to make things that you want to look at, you know,
Yeah.
that are
For sure.
provocative and have, you know, a lot of energy and presence. He really knew how to do that.
Yeah.
You know, this reminds me of work that Ossorio was doing. Remember the Philippine artist?
Ossorio?
Ossorio
No.
did a lot of sculpture. If here, let's see if I can. I'm going to go somewhere and let me see if I can find examples of that. Hold on.
Mhm.
Let's see.
Mm. That's nice, Marcia. You took so many pictures. That's really great.
Well, I have a lot more, but I just didn't
Wow.
feel I should send them all to you.
No, that's fine. That's amazing.
And then the week before, I had to be in the city a couple of times. That week I couldn't come to class. And I went to see a Picasso exhibit at the Gagosian on 76th and Madison.
Mm.
I have to send that to you. These are paintings that I've never seen before, which doesn't mean anything, but it was really a wonderful show with about 70 pieces of his that were released by his daughter. He was an extraordinarily prolific painter and artist, Picasso was. And he had a lot of stuff put away in warehouses so that he wouldn't flood the market and decrease the value of his imprint, so to speak.
Here, I'm going to go ahead. I'm sorry.
I have nothing more to say.
Okay. So let me see if they have an example.
Is that the last picture?
Oh, here, selected works. No, that's not the last. I'm just looking for something here. No, they don't have pictures. I have them in my phone, but I can't find them right. It would be too difficult to try to find them.
What's his name again?
If you look for Alfonso Ossorio, 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 but
Yeah.
his constructions, they're similar to, to not to have something in common, just this very
Yeah, Filipino American artist. Yeah, I share the screen if you want. Yeah, it has really.
Okay, hold on.
I see the thing. Yeah, I see it. I see.
He did these really crazy, outrageous
Yeah, I see here.
constructions.
I go to images. Yeah, I see the point.
Yeah, like look a number.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Just go to the constructions. Like right here, the third one from the left on the top. That's what I'm talking about. Stuff like that.
Wow. Oh, wow. Excuse me. Oh, my goodness. Looks like a pinball machine part.
1950, look at
So
this.
yeah, so this is from 1950.
Amazing. Look
I know. I know.
Unbelievable.
He's
These are not the constructions. These are paintings, right?
well, these are paintings. He was a painter primarily, but I was just referring.
But here is this.
I was referring to these crazy constructions.
They look like pinballs in a
modern time.
Yeah, in a way. Yeah.
1972.
These were later.
Look at this, amazing, huh?
Wow.
I'm going to show you. I took a bunch of pictures from. Well, I took actually this from this show. That was one of the pieces.
They were wonderful.
The shaped thing. They're very strange and kind of wonderful.
That's really interesting, that one.
He's a super interesting artist.
Very, yeah.
You know, the entire collection of Dubuffet, of outsider artists, was sent to Ossorio in Long Island during the war.
Yes.
Really?
So to protect his collection, he sent it to this guy, Alfonso Ossorio.
Really? Really?
Look, he was even playing the piano here. Look at this.
Yeah.
Amazing.
He was, yeah, he was a very interesting guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very. The Angry Christ, 95.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what.
Hands.
There's another
Oh,
one.
that's
So there's another one. That's my
okay.
point.
wow.
They're sort of accretions, you know,
Mm,
things, and have a
Wow.
fetish quality.
yeah.
And very African
Yeah,
inspired,
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
with the whiskers that I think there's in Mali, they do a lot of that. These masks with what looks like whiskers.
Amazing.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Look at this.
And he was, yeah, he could
Oh,
also
gosh,
paint, you know,
yeah.
and draw quite beautifully.
Oh,
Mm.
wow.
He just got into this Dubuffet thing, you know, later. And not later, but in the 50s.
Yeah. But that's a nice head. It's great.
Yeah. It is great.
Amazing. Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Mm,
It's really good. Yeah.
I know. He was good.
Yeah. Good. That's a good thing. Yeah. That's even what is this. Yeah.
You
Oh.
see, he could do that too.
Yeah.
wow.
I
He was almost like a Picabia, sort of.
mean, he was
No.
more reverent. You know, he was never ironic.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Mm,
But that's also an
This
interesting.
looks like Jess, you know,
Yeah.
JESS, the Chicago artist,
Yes. One.
like sort of 80s, you know, 1980. But this was
That's
up from
amazing.
the, you know, 40s probably or 30s.
Museum purchase.
oh,
Unbelievable.
mm,
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do it like here. Go, let's see this object down there on the screen.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Just follow. Oh, yeah. No. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Follow.
There's the
This
red
one.
one. Yeah, the red one. Yeah. Let's just take a look at that.
mm,
It's a little more, yeah,
Mhm.
more color, you know, in his world.
mm.
The Jack Whitten is really kind of
There's no photography.
color is not what's key in those things. It's about the material,
Yeah.
the thing.
That's him. You can.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah, we can.
Mm.
Yeah, amazing.
Right.
Yeah, amazing.
Oh, I think that's it, Marcia. That's the last one.
Okay, great.
So we'll just go back.
Yeah, that's great. Absolutely.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you, Marcia. This really great
Yeah,
choice.
that was great.
And I did not bring in that. I really wanted to show you a picture of that rake. I don't know what happened to
Oh.
that rake, but listen, if you go, you'll see it. He devised all these tools and techniques, and he was just a very inventive, creative,
Yeah,
Totally.
smart
Yeah.
guy.
yeah.
Yes. No doubt.
Oh,
But you know,
boy.
to me, as a white person that was discriminated against in the 70s, because I wasn't Black, when I saw Black artists, I thought, oh Jesus, I don't want this. You know, be resentment, hostility. It was anything but.
Right.
It was just absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm. Mhm.
That's it.
Okay.
Good. Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Marcia. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
When are you coming back up, Phyllis?
It's questionable.
Mhm.
Don't know.
Maybe not, huh?
I don't know. Don't know.
Coming back
To New York.
to my house, to where I live. And
Where are you now? Are you in
I'm still
Florida?
in Florida.
Mhm.
Well,
But
it's spring here now. It's getting nice.
yeah, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah,
It's nice to see it. It's nice to see all those beautiful leaves and
Mhm.
things coming back.
and sunshine.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
The white and pink flowering trees
absolutely
Oh boy.
and the level of yellow dust all over your car.
right.
Yes,
And allergies and
Yes, it's allergy season.
it's wonderful. Yeah.
It is wonderful. So you don't know when you're coming back up, Phyllis?
I don't. I have a few events coming, but I have to get, well, it's ridiculous. The situation is very tenuous with my health. So
Mhm.
that says it. I can make plans one day and the next day I have to change them again. Let's see. Wait and see.
Mhm.
Take each day as it comes.
Mhm.
Good philosophy. Good
Mhm.
for all of us.
Mhm.
All you can do, Barbara.
Yes.
Aren't too many choices. But it's
Mhm.
good. I'm not complaining. I'm
Mhm.
not a complainer.
Mhm.
I'm very fortunate, actually.
Mhm.
I'm going to have the first great grandson
wow.
is being born next week, I think.
Mhm.
Really?
I wanted to be home.
Gosh.
A great grandson.
Great
Wow.
grandson. The
Oh,
first,
did your grandson got married?
yes. Drew's married. Yes.
Where were you able to attend the wedding?
It's a long story, Marsh.
Okay, forget it. Okay. I won't.
Anyhow, I can't wait to, at least see his picture.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Aren't
That's
babies
exciting.
wonderful? My niece had a baby recently, our niece, and we saw her when she was a little less than 2 weeks old. And it was the strangest thing. She was this tiny
Tiny.
and she was a creature. I think I've seen such a young baby since my own children were born. She was a little animal. It was a very startling.
Yeah.
They look like little chickens. You know,
Well, that's
a
not a
pullet
good. That's not a good
weighs more than they
comparison.
do. You know?
Well, she was this peaceful, hungry. There was something that was so
I understand. I understand what you're saying, what you're trying to say.
it really is miraculous, this life thing. I totally forgot about it. And it really
Right.
puts humans in the broader scheme of life.
Mhm.
Life and
Instead
death.
of instead of the abstracted, civilized,
Yeah.
flat
Yeah.
Yeah.
thing, you actually saw that what the real essence,
Yes.
stripped down.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. I know what
And
you
it
mean.
was scary because
It
after
is
a while,
scary.
I sort of felt like
It is
I
scary.
didn't have a connection with this
That's it.
thing yet.
You need to be the mother or and just have that connection, that
Yeah.
by emotional, biological connection.
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, it's
Otherwise,
scary.
it's very, very odd.
Like things can turn, very quickly.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Isn't that the truth? Holy smokes. Our states of mind, our feelings, are
Right.
just everything is much more complex than we can ever glimpse.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it is.
We have,
That's the
in our minds, we have to reduce everything just to function, to these ideas. to very simple, coherent, little ideas.
What are we going to have for dinner today?
Yeah.
Ah, that's so Italian.
Yeah.
That is so
Yeah.
Italian.
But in a way,
Talk about life at the Italian table, and what is the subject? You were dealing with abstracts and
Exactly.
philosophy. What's for dinner tonight?
Talk about
That is-
death, and it's the same thing.
That is the most important thing.
Oh,
True. Oh,
oh
wow.
my, is this
Yeah.
still a tour?
Yes.
Oh,
I think Delatour, he painted so beautiful
can't-
babies.
yeah.
And once Barbara tell this story, it reminds me on this painting, which is,
can we see the
know,
head? Can we
it's-
see it? Can you make it smaller so we can see the whole painting?
no, I can't.
Oh, there. Okay.
Yes.
Oh.
But I
my
think,
God.
there is so much energy coming of this sleeping baby. You know,
That's a gorgeous painting.
I think
It
it's
is.
just amazing. And
Whose
Oh,
hand
He's
is
wrapped up like he looks like a mummy.
what's the hand on the left?
I don't know.
That's interesting.
oh, look at that.
It's sort of covering the candle. It's whole,
Oh.
so the candle's not in
Oh.
the eyes
Oh.
and reflected back onto the baby.
Ah,
That's a beauty.
That is a beauty.
Okay.
I mean, that's such a
Oh.
powerful, penetrating alien,
yeah.
strange. Look at the beautiful hand underneath that baby.
Yeah, it's wonderful here, and
Yeah.
the whole, it's
God, yeah.
wonderful.
There's just opening at the Met is the Sargent show.
I was just
Yeah,
thinking of that.
we went to
And
that
there was
yesterday.
I read the review in, I guess it was Hyperallergic,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was all about his hands
yeah,
and how beautifully he
Yeah.
painted hands.
yeah, like
You
this.
know, the hands are very, very important in his work, and he was one of the great,
Yeah,
effortless painters of hands, which are very complicated, obviously.
Very complicated.
There's
we
much in
walked
the
it-
hand.
We walked over to the Met yesterday, and I
Oh.
said, as soon as we got there, I said, "Oh my God, Wednesday the Met is closed."
oh,
We walked from Grand Central to the Met.
Hey,
It was closed.
you
So
walked?
Yeah,
That's a trek from Grand
I
Central.
put on about 5.5 miles.
Oh, yeah.
That's 40 blocks.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
There's the hand.
That's
Okay.
the whole thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Ah. That baby is swathed like a little mummy.
Right.
yeah. When they said swaddling clothes, they weren't kidding.
No. Mm. Mm.
It's like a mummy wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful painting. Yeah, and the quality of light.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you get to anyone get to the Frick yet?
No,
No.
Not the new one, no.
Mm.
I wonder if you get in without a huge line.
Mm.
don't we have another piece, Mark, from?
No?
I sent in something.
Oh, you did? I didn't see it.
Oh,
But
Did you
look
really?
at this here also.
Well, speak up.
Hold on a second. I have here another baby of
Okay.
oh.
another baby of Delatour.
Barbara, where did you send it? I did not.
To you and Hans.
Look at this.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh boy.
It's they are all sleeping, but they are so present. They are present. Present.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just amazing. Delatour, I love him so much.
This is Delatour also, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
It's also, it's probably Christ. I don't know, but here is
Ah.
an animal. It's also a section of a pig.
I didn't
Yeah,
get it,
in
Barbara, for some reason.
I got it. I can show it to you.
Okay.
Okay. When you're ready, we're just.
But isn't that nice?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
very
lovely.
nice. And
Yes.
it looks like the baby is lying on straw, so it's the
Yes,
manger.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Is this a detail? Do you have the whole painting?
It is a detail. No, I don't have the whole thing.
Oh, okay.
right now.
The little mummy.
Yeah. Beautiful. Let me see. Where is Barbara's?
Oh,
Did you, were you able to get up to your studio, Barbara?
no, I have some of my
Hold on.
things downstairs here, so I'm using the dining room table, but no, I can't do that yet. I did go out yesterday shopping and I'm driving now, so baby
Good.
steps, you know.
Great. Is it
It'll be
your
a
right?
while before I can take a whole flight of stairs, and these are very nasty steps, you know. I don't know if you remember, they're very steep.
I do remember. They're very steep.
And narrow. Ugh.
Where is it? Here.
Is it your right leg or your left leg?
It's my right leg. So
Oh,
that's why I was very happy to be able to drive finally.
sure.
Mm.
Hmm.
Too.
That's a step ahead.
That's this one.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Phyllis.
me
That's
see.
what it is. One step ahead at a time.
It
I
is.
think I have it here. Let me see. Where are we? Here. There.
Where is Marie today?
She's in Dubai.
Oh,
What is this?
Wow.
What is this
My.
what?
This is an oil pastel
from?
Yes.
from Barbara.
Oh,
Oh, this is cool.
Thank
You
you.
did-
Great,
is
Barbara.
this recent, Barbara?
Yes, this morning or last night and this morning.
Is it a photo and you drew into it?
Yes, it's a photo that I wanted to emphasize that I use oil pastels and to emphasize the shapes and the lines that struck me. It's I have a little garden on the side here that
Right,
just I kept looking at it and
right.
yeah.
I can see that. I can see what you
It's
saw.
very nice, Barbara.
Yes.
A
It
lot.
is.
Thank you.
You know, after seeing the Jack Whitten, I'm immediately seeing all the white areas as little tiles.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Tiles.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
gravel.
And
It's gravel.
looking at this abstractly, the way the lines run through it and so on. And it has its own flattening effect because of the way you applied the the pastel.
Ah,
So it's more abstract. I like it.
So
Oh,
this is
great.
photograph here, right?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, I didn't touch the cherry tree.
Great.
Yeah. There's no way that I could have.
And you didn't touch this. This is also photograph here.
Actually, I just made it darker so
Oh,
we see the
okay.
vertical
Yeah.
lines.
What were those lines?
It's wind chimes.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's like bling,
okay.
bling, 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 bling.
Ah,
Yeah.
I thought it was sculpture in the garden.
Oh, that would be
Like a
nice.
photo.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I saw it immediately.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is this a lamp? The brown thing?
No, that is actually the piece of that the wind chimes are hanging from.
Okay.
But I wanted to emphasize that because of the brown in the other places
Yeah.
and the curve of the white here. To look at, to emphasize the curves in there.
Yeah, it's nice. I think it's nice.
How big is it? How big is the photo?
How big is it? 8.5 by 11.
How did you get a photo that size? You printed it out?
Oh yeah. I use my own printer to get. Oh, and the one of the reasons that I did this is that my printer, I need to refill the ink.
Uh-huh.
So this was a very pale photograph.
Oh.
And that kind of gave me the push to do something with it. If it had been a dominant photograph, I don't think I would have touched it.
This is a really good idea, just as a way to approach painting, see something, have it photographed, printed out, and then work into the
Yeah.
photo, which I think would be very interesting just to do a series of these.
Well, do you remember I did a bunch of these?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Yeah. I think that was
But
part of what.
even if you just stick to the garden, I like that. I mean, personally, but I like the idea of seeing specific things in the garden,
Yes.
very intimate, that are part of your world.
Yeah.
And then turn them into, a painterly thing,
Yeah.
emphasizing what you see, I think is a great idea.
I love the steps.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
and the graduated
And the
perspective.
way they
Yeah.
created space.
Oh, yeah, that took a bit of work. That
I can
is
see that.
very different from the top of them is much like the way it
Yeah.
is in the photograph, but the rest is not.
So the blue, which is the sky,
Well, I
right?
made it into the sky. It's actually
It looks like a canvas to me.
that's what it is. It's
Okay.
actually it's a what can I call it? It's a one of those garage things that are made of
Tarp.
Tarp.
A tarp?
Yeah.
Yeah, a tarp, a blue tarp, yeah.
Mhm.
To cover a car also.
I like that.
Right. It's actually gray, but I thought I wanted to make that into the sky.
Yeah, blue is much nicer.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like, I mean, it evokes the sky.
Right.
But then the horizon is in the wrong place, it's too low, so it's curious.
Right. So I could have go all the way up. What do you think?
No.
No, I like exactly the way it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love
like
the
that
chairs.
confusion, that ambiguity, I think is
Oh, good. That's why I left the woods on the right there. I thought,
Yeah, the sky is up here.
yeah.
And the chairs are lovely.
I think you should
Hidden behind
I think you should take a big canvas, I mean, not huge, but let's say, something that you're comfortable with, and take the canvas to a printer and have it the same image printed on a canvas, and work into it as a painting.
Oh.
Why not? Just take the next step.
I think I have to, speaking of steps, I think I have to wait until I can take, although I could possibly work outside. That might be possible. Excuse me.
I like these lines here.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
No, it's interesting.
Scratched into it.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. I'm saving little objects.
The effect is great. Yeah.
Barbara, what is that object behind? It looks like chairs at first, and then a shopping cart.
It's actually chairs, which again I didn't dare change. I thought,
no, you should not change
that.
I like that.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Like a ghost image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Came out like that. Yeah.
It's nicely balanced. I like it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Very nice.
Oh, I've had such a long dry spell. It's just so nice to make something and
Absolutely. Sure.
Like it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Sure. Very nice.
More.
Do more.
I want to.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe the dam has
it's a good
broken.
way to jump in. It's not like a blank canvas,
Right. Oh, yeah.
There's something there.
Yes. Something to work from. I like that very much.
Yeah. Thank you for sending that.
You're welcome.
I think we say goodbye to our viewers, maybe. Mark, or do we have something else?
Nothing else today. So, maybe in the future we'll just, instead of having a formal beginning, to the show, we'll just, from the get-go, we'll just record.
Start.
And then we'll just, enter our world.
Yes.
Without it being so structured and formalized. I don't think we need to do that.
Maybe we don't say goodbye to the audience anymore.
No,
We just hang up.
they're gonna get it. They'll figure it out.
I like the concept. So you don't know it's a blackout or whatever, it's like.
It's more stealth.
Okay, it's up to you. You have to close the live stream.
I'm going to.
Okay.